Bob re-signed Haney 2 nights before the fight. Okay?
No way.
2 nights before the fight.
Oh, that's crazy.
Hey, what's going on, Ringsiders? This is your host, Boxing's Objective Observer with Ringside Stories. Feel free to subscribe, thumbs up, and hit that notification bell for the latest here on Ringside Stories. Thanks so much for your support in advance, and welcome to the channel.
Numbers. I know when the numbers come out, the numbers did very well. Gate did very well. I proved that I'm a draw in the sport of boxing. I proved that the people want to see me. They come out, they support, and me and Tank is a massive fight, and it's gonna happen sooner than later.
Well, Devin Haney might have sold out together with Lomachenko. The pay-per-view numbers, on the other hand, however, were not that great. 150,000 pay-per-view buys for the Lomachenko versus Devin Haney fight, which was an amazing fight with a lot of drama. Some people may even claim it was a classic, but these pay-per-view numbers reflect poorly on the sport of boxing as a whole. Now, even 1 week after the Lomachenko versus Haney fight, there are still people talking about the decision. Some seen Haney versus Lomachenko and were so disgusted with the decision that they decided to put matters into their own hands. Here's renowned trainer and boxing analyst Teddy Atlas.
Well, I put up a tweet. In 12 hours, it got 1 million views. Looking at the response, these people are fed up. They're mad as hell. They don't want to take it no more. You gotta start a petition for a national commission and end this once and for all. So you have a chance now to actually do something to save the sport. Rather than just complaining, threatening, as I said, to leave the sport until the next time it happens, well, you can sign this petition. I'm betting on you that there's enough good people out there are just as mad as hell, and you don't want to take it no more.
I think the reaction of the whole boxing community itself speaks for itself. Listen, I was going to praise Haney for some of the things he did well last night, because Haney surprised me some of the things he did well, better than I expected him to. But he still lost the fight. I mean, it's clear as day he lost the fight. Everybody knows he lost the fight. As a matter of fact, everybody in boxing, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 people, I mean, it's almost unanimous at this point that everybody felt like he lost the fight, he was losing the fight. But it's boxing politics. There's more of a future for a 24-year-old as an undisputed champion than there is for a 35-year-old. And unfortunately, the business of boxing doesn't have any respect. It doesn't discriminate.
But what I didn't like and what I felt was hurtful to me is that I saw so many people that looked like Devin Haney raining on this young man's parade, bruh. And this is the hate culture, bruh. Sorry to admit it. This the hatingest culture I ever seen, bruh. Nobody won't help nobody. Nobody won't, you feel me, work with nobody. And it's a shame. And that's why we falling behind in the game, bruh. Boxing won't even help itself.
There's arguments on both sides that these guys want to fight. You know what I mean? You can look at Loma's early shots to the head and say, well, he landed more shots to the head, but overall, Haney was landing more shots overall because he was landing body shots and head shots. The body shots were making Loma look a little different than we ever seen Loma look before, so they obviously were being effective. When you're landing effective punches, they count. Although it don't look good because the head ain't bounced back, they still count. Some of Loma shot had his head bounced back, which looked more impressive to some people, but if you know boxing, you know all of it. I know all of it. So that being said, Haney dominated the early part of the fight. Loma dominated the second part of the fight. Haney coming back in the last round and regained his winning weight.
I think that if you're really generous, you can score a draw. I think anything more than a draw, you're a scumbag. If you give Haney every round that he does something in, including rounds where Loma does more than him, but Haney still did some things, because you don't score a round just because the other guy did something. Sometimes the other guy does more. So there's rounds where Loma did everything and he won those rounds. But then there's also rounds where Loma did more than Haney, but Haney did some things. And then there's rounds where Haney won the rounds, right? So if you give Haney even the rounds where he did a little bit, but he still didn't do enough to win the round, but he did some work, but you found an excuse, oh, hey, I like that he did that, I give him the round, even though it's not enough, but you're looking for a reason to give Haney a round, which is not the way he's supposed to score a fight anyway, then you can maximum get in 6 rounds, maximum. If you find 7 rounds under that criteria to give him the rounds, you're a dirt scumbag. And you were rooting for Haney from the start, and it's obvious.
You can't take the champ's belts away on that situation, you understand me? But at the same time, like I said, you can see where if Loma would have had an 12th round like his 11th round was, I might have gave him a fight on that because that means he would have won 3 of the last championship rounds. He did win 2 of them, but he lost the last. So because of that, I can't give it to you because he's the champ. You feel me? I like to, but he's the champ. You can't give the champ the best way if he come back in that last championship round after being dominated the worst round he got dominated in the old fight in round 11 and winning the last round. That's saying a lot. So I can't take his belt off. You understand me? I do understand, but I just can't take his belt off. Now, the early part of the fight, yeah. Like I said, people see different things. Different judges see different things. And to be honest with you, I know the judges were trying hard because if you look at it, except one judge's card, 113, 115, 113, 115. So if Loma wins the last round, we got to draw anyway. So we got to do it again anyway, right? That's what I was feeling. So it's like I still probably could have gave it a draw because I thought he won round 11 bigger than Haney won any of the other rounds, which is why I probably gave it a draw. But I'm not mad at a Haney win because Haney was champ, and to beat the champ, you got to take his belt.
As we said, early rounds, Haney, later rounds, Lomachenko. But what does Moretti do, Ken, in the late rounds? 5 of the last 6 rounds he gives to Haney. How do you explain that? See, that's where the problem is. How do you explain that, Mr. Moretti? The 10th round, the round that was not close, was indisputably not close. He gives that round to Haney.
And I think the biggest proof, I was recently, somebody sent me a screenshot of the DraftKings round by round. And this is something, the actions of the lines are something that really reflect on the public and the public opinion of how things are going. Lomachenko at the first bell started the fight at plus 200 after starting at plus 275 initially. So all the late money was coming in on Lomachenko. More importantly, at the start of round 12, if you go to live bets on DraftKings, Lomachenko was minus 500.
No way, are you serious?
I'm 100% serious, and I'll show you the screenshot on my phone.
What a point.
So you can give opinions left and right, but those numbers are irreplaceable and do not lie. If everyone is to move the line from plus 200 to Lomachenko to minus 500, that means all of the money from during the live betting is coming in on Lomachenko because everybody and their moms believes Lomachenko is winning the fight. And yo, I got one more little tidbit for you. I'll break it to you here. Bob re-signed Haney 2 nights before the fight. Okay?
No way.
2 nights before the fight.
That's crazy.
In the Haney-Lomachenko aftermath, there's been much speculation of Devin Haney's next move on who should fight next. Should he move up to 140 or stay to defend his undisputed lightweight world championship? Here were some observations that might hurt but maybe are truthful coming from boxing analyst and former unified light heavyweight world champion Antonio Tarver.
Truth be told, watching that fight from my vision, Haney got a lot of work to do. Haney got an extremely lot of work to do, bro. He's carrying that undisputed title. I didn't personally see undisputed talent. I understand why Haney is not a puncher, because he doesn't punch properly, and I'm not trying to, rain on nobody's parade, but, truth be told, man, these young guys aren't getting the lessons, bro. There's no teachers in the game of boxing, and it's evident. Because these guys, when you look at the skill set, it's a lot of things missing, bro. A lot of things missing when you talk about a complete fighter. And that's the only way I can see it. From being a complete fighter that can do everything in the ring. You understand? I don't even see no rhythm. I don't see no timing. I don't see no execution, bro. It's levels to this. And these guys ain't sharp, bro. Like I know they can be sharp. And that don't say that he didn't win the fight. But bruh, you gotta separate yourself. And I didn't see no separation.
So what do you make of Devin Haney versus Lomachenko's fairly low pay-per-view numbers? Do you think this is bad for boxing? And do you think Devin Haney is a draw? Let us know in the comment section below. If you're new to this channel, we make content regarding boxing through mini documentaries, backstories, and much more. So if you enjoy that type of content, feel free to subscribe, thumbs up, and hit that notification bell for the latest day on Ringside Stories. Thanks so much for your support in advance. Now, if you've done that already, you're amazing. You already know that you are the true undisputed world champion. Till next time, Ringsiders, this is your host, Boxing's Objective Observer with the Ringside Stories. Thanks for watching and have a legendary day.